After last night, everyone is dragging ass today.
Yeah, we're all wearing the same shirt.
There was a bit more carnage yesterday than we thought. Today looks to be a repair day for half of the group. The other half of the group is almost happy to get a late start.
On the way to get axle parts, but first we have to make an essential stop.
Andrew had to head to Knoxville, the only place in the area that had the right part replacement. Knoxville is home to the University of Tennessee and is the third largest city in the state. Settled in 1786, Knoxville was the original state capital of Tennessee until 1817 when it was moved to Murfreesboro, and then moved again in 1843 to Nashville.
Well, Mr. Jeremy Rose, bleeping Jeep. Jeremy Rose gave me this, and he also gave me this to fix this. Yeah. Something look different? So we're gonna get this squared away. Hello.
So Matt, how was yesterday?
Shitty.
I can see that. Keep that door shut. Good grief. What'd you have for breakfast? Sausage biscuit. It smells like sausage biscuit. Why are you sweating?
It's hot as fuck in here.
We got Bailey's Jeep when he had Kyle Reeves' XJ, and I had to pick it up to blew the transmission out of it. We're pulling the transmission, and he took me to Waffle House. I'm like, powdered eggs and meat, don't agree. He goes, I want to go to Waffle House. He goes, I'll buy it. I'm like, cool. So we're doing it. So wait till both of you are holding a transmission underneath and then shit under the Jeep. And he can't get away from you. I'm powdered eggs.
Drop a few hundred pounds on my face.
Oh, dude, it was horrid. It was like a rob. You could just taste it. It was like, oh.
As Sean and Mark are fixing a sheared bolt, we get a rude surprise from Brent.
Oh, wow.
That's worse than that.
Those are freshly cut too.
Don't sit down.
Yeah, no, the ash is gone. I can't really breathe in them because they're kind of old, but.
Brent looks a lot like Exotic Joe in those shorts.
Get closer. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
No, oh no, now it's over.
That's fucking terrible.
Those legs need a tan.
Those do not disappoint.
You're burying your balls right up in my face.
You're all right.
Oh, wait till you get the onion. Wait till you get the supercharged onion farts now they're about to come out of that.
They don't need a fan to help them out.
Yeah, I'm calling 30 seconds and then it's my turn.
Jeff talks to us a little bit about the side-by-side accident from last night.
I mean, we had two winches hooked up to it, just drug it out and flipped it over. I guess the driver's seat was missing out of it, so the guy either got ejected out or something. It was gone.
BRR.
That's crazy.
Unless they cut him out or something, but yeah. We saw him, the life flight landed right over in here last night.
Yeah, we thought we saw it.
Everyone has Milwaukee, so when I buy it,
well, no, the rescue vehicles are coming over.
Yeah,
but
they said, I think a broke back and some other pretty bad
legs. I think the driver broke both of his legs and his back.
I mean, they had to have been flying because they came around the curve and then you just saw trees like down the hillside.
The big problem is when there's not much to do because you're waiting on people to fix their Jeeps, is to start getting into shenanigans. And there's about 4 of these mini bikes around camp, so I was just over jumping this one. It's not mine. That seems like a better idea than jumping mine. But it's a good time. Huh? Oh yeah, I want to race. Go pick your speed. But yeah, it's a good way to just kill a little bit of time. I know, I know, that's why I was like, anyway, yeah, so just kill a little bit of time. We're getting close on getting everything fixed, but it's just what today's turning into, so hopefully we can maybe get out on a overrun this afternoon, but we'll see what happens. Stay tuned.
Speaking of shenanigans,
Couple of wet farts. That's nasty. You were one nasty motherfucker.
Fucking Joe Exotic.
Yeah. Hey,
You ain't that straight.
hey now. I got total.
Oh, God.
We're good.
I saw a lot.
It's a ledge.
Ledge, like a ledge.
Okay, a ledge. There's ground here. There's ground here. The
Okay.
transition is a ledge.
Okay. We can do that. So
Oh,
tell,
we
me,
can-
tell me about 21.
There's a ledge.
Ledge.
That's it. There's dirt and a ledge.
What's a ledge?
So it is 3 p.m. in the afternoon on day 2 at Windrock, and we are still working on the repairs from the trail damage late last night.
Not much better, huh? That's the shit I'm talking about right there, son. Well, there's still a bunch of broken Jeeps laying around here, but we're gonna go ahead and start running Trail 21, and then Marvin, I guess probably Andrew, and maybe one more is gonna catch up to us. It's pretty easy to catch up on that trail, so shouldn't be an issue, but I wanna go wheeling, so that's what we're gonna do.
this is Sebastian Williams. This XJ did not have a drivetrain 3 days ago. I don't believe it's street legal, and I don't think Sebastian really gives a flying fuck.
Shitbags for the win!
Is yours steering that squirrely or?
Oh yeah, no, it's just that janky. XJ's for the win.
I mean, what?
Dana 30 for the win.
Good God.
I got a spare one in the truck.
That's spare one in the truck.
XJ Nation.
All right. Game
Did
on.
you see that
Let's
coming
go.
up the hill?
From East Coast woods to West Coast desert. It's Murphy's Law, so you gotta plan for the inevitable. And it all begins with a start. Start going for it. Start hammering down. Start getting better from your mistakes. Start seeing your team's hard work pay off. Because in our world, there's only one rule. Never stop starting. The Optima Signature 6-pack with up to 15 times vibration resistance. Optima, the ultimate power source.
Picking a line on an obstacle that is off camber with the ledge on the driver's side can be a mindfuck. Guys like Rob and Jeff will always take a challenging line. However, the challenging line may sometimes be the only line. That's when mental fortitude comes into play, and you have to trust your rig, your spotter, and yourself. Rob got the ass end of his Jeep a little too far driver, eventually making the line a little dangerous. If things get a little sketch, it's always safer to winch.
I went to front dig, and that's when I fell back further than I wanted. So, shit happens.
I'll save you the agony of watching a few of the guys having to winch up this obstacle. Instead, I'll show you Sebastian's clapped out XJ on 35s, making it through this obstacle without winching. Amongst other things mentioned in drivers' meetings before we start to hit the trails, we always remind the drivers of one thing: the film crew will get out of your way. Don't let us stop you from the rock you're going for and lose your momentum. Believe me when I tell you, it may not be graceful, but we will get out of your way.
You about fucking killed Gabe.
That's all. Stop.
Yeah!
About fucking killed Gabe.
Stop. That's all.
Stop. Hold that. What? You have camera bags hanging outside the Jeep.
I saw Gabe start to move as soon as the Jeep started coming that way. And then I saw Gabe disappear. And I dropped my camera and I'm yelling for Rob to stop because I thought Gabe was on his belly, fingernail in the dirt, trying to get out of the way. I didn't know what had happened. Lo and behold, everything was good, but it scared the shit out of me more than anything. I'm sure Gabe had his heart rate going, but Rob just kept on driving.
Yes, my heart rate was going.
This edition of Just Fucking Send It is brought to you by Sebastian Williams. I've got $100 that says I know what you're thinking right now. You knew that was going to happen, didn't you? We already knew what the break was. It was pretty obvious. Jeff brought his rig up ahead to tug the XJ off the truck. With one more day of wheeling, we called it a night.
This word means different things to different people. Hobby, freedom, adventure, and most importantly, lifestyle. Whatever your meaning is, the one part we tend to get most excited for is the build. Finding that part to fit a need, talking to others about their parts, and buying the best parts available. Some people say a Jeep build is never fully done. The key is to find parts that allow you to expand the build and to function together throughout the iterations. Artec Industries provides a nearly endless catalog and introduces new parts for your ever-changing Jeeping adventures.
The next morning was an early wake-up call. A few weeks ago, we had invited a bunch of friends to meet us and hit the trails. Along with the guys we've had this weekend, there's some other familiar faces with us today. Ricky Berry from RCV Performance, Jeremy Rose from Bleep and Jeep, Greg Henderson from Unofficial Use Only, and some of the guys from Red Clay Off-Road. We broke off into two groups, Group 1 wheeling Walden's Ridge, and the other group wheeling Little School Bus.
All right, well that was 15. That was not part of the original plan today, but it's really hard.
There's no way to go to 38 without doing 15, except for the paved road.
Yeah, the paved road will take you in, but like that really sucks.
It's paved road. I mean,
yeah.
Spend all this money, you might as well have fun.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we are going to start Walden's Ridge. This is the first obstacle. We're going to get ready to drive up. We got Jeremy Rose from Bleep and Jeep leading the group today. So we'll get him up in Chubby Chaser first.
This is Greg Henderson and his newly built Roxor. He's an experienced and renowned builder and wheeler. However, when you combine a new build, its first shakedown run, with a Razorback type ridge, and a slight fear of dying from falling off a cliff, nerves can take over anyone.
I'm not moving until you tell me to.
Well, I mean, you need a break or you good?
I want to get level.
Is that level?
Level enough where I can puke.
As far as level.
The clutch, yeah, is as you ease out real gentle. Like you don't really need to give it any gas. You just ease out real gentle. It'll start going.
Okay.
I mean, she's a torquey little bitch.
Okay.
Driver change?
And if you give it gas,
yeah,
it's a torquey little bitch.
Okay.
It'll launch. So.
All right, man. What are we doing?
So Greg is, Greg's feeling just a little nervous with the rig that he hasn't wheeled. Greg's feeling super nervous, really uncomfortable, and because I'm so nervous right now, I would rather somebody else drive it because I don't want to make a mistake because I'm so jittery right now. It's better safe than sorry.
Yeah, and it's actually good because this is good for anybody. When you've hit your point, it's always good to figure something else out. Don't
Do you know how many
push.
times I've driven somebody else's rig off a part of a trail?
Don't push yourself. Know when you gotta call it.
This is Walden's Ridge. Jeremy Rose from Bleep and Jeep is a local to the area and told us that the ridge was originally a hiking trail, part of the Cumberland Trail system that stretched the length of the Cumberland Plateau, which happens to also run through Windrock Park. The ridge itself is 74 miles long, running north to south. Years ago, The surrounding vegetation burnt, leaving a clear and distinct drop-off on both sides of the ridge. Now with trees and brush grown back, they might save you from sure death if you happen to fall off either side of the ridge.
All right, we just finished 15 and we're on 38 now.
Correct.
And this is called Little School Bus?
Little School Bus, and it's a fun trail. It's challenging enough for someone with like a JK on 37s, you know? And I use that as like a common denominator because it's a very common vehicle, right? A lot of guys buy a JK, put 3.5-inch lift on it, put 37s or a JL. And you can run these trails, but it'll challenge your rig. You definitely should have lockers front and rear. This is one of the like real common, more fun trails here, and you know, 15 to 38. It's just an easy thing. You're not far from the park. You're close to camping. If you just want a quick run, this is a good one. So it really makes for a good day too, and you feel like you've done something, you've accomplished something. So yeah.
And no one's broken yet.
Nobody's broken
on
yet.
This quick trip part 5 and 6.
God
and
damn
7
it! Why did you
and
call
8
it the quick trip?
And 9 and 10.
We're doomed.
Broke shock, busted the brake line. I think the spring came out. We got some good carnage.
You put your foot on the brake, hold it to the floor, give that sucker all it's got, and then let the brake go.
This has been a very fun trip. It's so different. I can't explain it. It's just, it's big rocks, loose dirt, and then when that loose dirt gets wet, it just turns to snot. There's spots where it's still kind of wet, and you can see the tires just, there's no traction whatsoever. Everyone's rigs out here are tuned really nice. So shout out to everyone that came out for this shoot. Really appreciate you guys coming out here. It's been a really fun time.
Thank you.